For this segment of Coaches Club, today I'm joined by head coach of the Synchronized Skating team, Tatiana Payne. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing pretty good. You guys started off strong this year. Your first competition in the first half of the season, you finished second place. We talked earlier, you said you guys should have finished first. So just in your eyes, how has the team just grown and progressed so far this season?
Well, this year is a big contrast to last year.
Okay.
Last year was a little bit of a rough year. Girls are really hardworking, but we just couldn't perform the way that we practiced. And so this year I feel like we've really built upon that. And we've just brought that to be a strength of ours. But I would say in contrast to last year, this year our skill set is higher, so what we're able to do out there is a whole lot more than what we were able to accomplish last year. And just the girls' drive and hard work is really paying off this year. They're being very consistent and they're able to perform just as well at competition as they are at practice.
And Praise Fest is one of those things where it's fun, it's the end of the year, everybody knows it's Christmas time, but were you guys still kind of trying to polish things up, or was it just one of those things like, hey, let's just go out here and have some fun?
Honestly, we didn't even practice that
Wow.
the Monday before because we had gotten back so late that Sunday night, back-to-back weekends, you know, the competition and then Praise Fest. And so going into it, I really wanted the girls to have fun and be able to enjoy it. It's a little bit more tricky skating that program under spotlight, so it definitely brought them a new curveball, but they handled it really well. And I like them doing events like that just because it throws them something that they're not expecting, and they have to learn how to adjust. Again, another strategy for them being prepared and more prepared this semester to do well in competition.
And being prepared, you guys are in Michigan this weekend, but before we get there, are you where you want to be, where you were making goals at the beginning of the season?
I don't know that I ever set goals and say, oh, this is all we're gonna get to. I push the team to see how far they can get. So my answer is no, I don't feel like we're as polished as we can be. We always have room for improvement. Synchronized skating is about being perfectly in precision, and doing that with 12 girls on the ice, all performing the same elements, having their feet be in the exact same place. You're never going to reach perfection. So we definitely still have polishing and room for improvement, but these girls want to make it happen. They want to see that improvement. So I have full faith in these girls that we'll be able to accomplish something really great this weekend.
And when we first started, you talk about the contrast between this year and last year. So what are some of the big differences between last year's team and this year's team that's really made that big drastic change?
Well, coming out of last year, the girls were really hungry to do better than they did last year.
Okay.
So they already had that drive and that hunger to succeed, which is a huge role in why we've been so successful this year. We've also brought on some really great skaters this year, a few freshmen who've just added so much depth to our team. And so with those two things just coming together, the drive of the returners and just the meshing of the freshmen coming in that are really talented, it's just been a really great year to see the hard work and the collaboration between, you know, those returning and the new people coming in. It's just been really, really flawless season for us so far.
And getting to the fun part, Michigan this weekend. What can you tell us about that this upcoming weekend?
This competition may be our hardest competition this season. Michigan, whenever we go up there, we face the Midwest teams, which we don't face at sectionals. And since our division, we're competing open collegiate this year, since we're competing open collegiate, we don't have the opportunity to go to nationals. So we won't face off against any of those teams at nationals. This is our only opportunity to compete against those higher level teams. And these teams are the teams who have 3 or 4 synchronized skating teams representing a college. So they have a lot of depth. It's kind of like our hockey programs here, how we have a men's division 1, 2, and 3. So you're drawing hundreds of skaters.
Yeah.
So if we're able to fare well with these Midwest teams, then I feel like we have a really solid chance of winning at sectionals.
Sectionals, you got sectionals, then you have nationals.
Nope, no nationals
Okay,
for us since
okay.
we're open collegiate. Next year we're hoping to go to collegiate. We're trying to recruit a few more really strong skaters because we have to reach a certain level of quality and test skill level wise in order to be able to move up to that level of collegiate that would be able to qualify us for nationals.
Okay, and lastly, what's the goals for the rest of this year? Just the rest of this season, the rest of this whole skating, semester. Like, what are your goals? Like team goals, maybe just goals as a coach.
Well, I don't say this very often. I don't say this lightly, but we're in it to win it this year. Like the girls are really, really competitive and they want to do well, and we definitely have all of the tools to do well. And I'm usually hesitant about saying that, but I really believe in these group of girls that we have. And so our goal is to medal at the rest of these competitions, these next 2 competitions. And our goal ultimately is to win first at sectionals.
Well, in it to win it. Tatiana Payne, thank you for your time today.
Yeah.
That's head coach Tatiana Payne.